Now we're going to finish the neck edge of a woven garment. That's finished just a little bit different. We did Chanel trim on the cut edge of a knit. So now we're working with a woven. Remember, woven fabric does not stretch. And this is, all the directions are in the book. Again, follow the pictures because there's some great pictures in there. We are starting with our master knit top pattern. Now I know it says knit on there, but that's okay because we've created a woven pattern. So make sure you look through the chapter on how to create patterns. We've created a woven pattern from our knit top master pattern. So the first thing that we're going to do is to sew the shoulder seams together. And let me put this behind here so you can see the shoulder seams a little bit better. Like this. There we go. So we've sewn the shoulder seams together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Then what we're going to do is to fold this in half like this, shoulder seam to shoulder seam, like this. And you can see the neck edge just a little bit better. Now when we do that, we need to cut it down. It's got to go a little bit over, down a little bit. You got to get this over your head. And you have to remember, there's no stretch to this at all. So you need to cut it down enough. There's a template on the pattern itself for lowering the neck edge. Do me a favor. Please draw that on yourself to make sure it's not too low. Because when you do a woven neckline, you might want it just a little bit higher, like the one that I have on the dress form up here. So that's, again, that's totally up to you. You're the designer. You get to do it the way you want to do it. Now, let's talk just a little bit about bias, because that's the way we're going to finish this neck edge. This is a plaid, so you can see this just a little bit better. There's the fabric that does not stretch. But if I put this on the bias, in other words, if I fold it like this, can you see how much it stretches? That's what we're going to use. Now this is the plaid, and let me show you. This is just a solid color, and you can see I have no stretch whatsoever, but watch what happens when I do it on the bias. So let's go over these real quick. This would be the selvage, like this. So this is the cross grain, this is the lengthwise grain, and this is the bias, like that. So real simple to do. Now when you do anything bias, make sure it is on the bias. And you need to make sure that you fold it so it's on the bias. So let me show you how to fold this, because it's really simple to do. If I had a piece of fabric, and obviously you would have a bigger piece than this, and you folded it like this into a triangle, that's going to be your perfect bias. So you need to make sure that it is folded correctly. Now let's go back to our bias tape makers. Bias tape makers come in all different sizes. If you're a quilter, you probably have 10 of these, but they come in all different sizes. So what you're going to do is to take that bias strip that you cut, and you're going to put it through the bias tape maker, and when you pull it out the other end, it will be folded for you, and it will be folded just like this. Isn't that cool? Then you're going to press this really good, and we're ready to attach that to the neck edge. Now there's a couple ways that you can do this, and I'm going to show you my favorite way. So let's go back to this neck edge, and I'm going to show you my favorite way to do this. I like to start with the bias. You're going to open one edge of it, put it right side to right side, and that's a picture that you're seeing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this in chalk again, in the yellow chalk, so you can see where I'm stitching. I'm stitching right in the fold of that bias. All right. As you stitch this on, you want to pull this slightly. You don't have to yank on it, but you just want to pull it slightly. So again, it lays next to your body and doesn't fall away. And you're going to stitch that all the way around. Then you're going to take it and you're going to fold half of it to the inside like this. And you can see I already have half of it folded in and pinned. The other half has been stitched, so you can see what it looks like when it's stitched. Now, that you can pin that, and then you can stitch, and then you can pray if you want to, because that's what most people do. So let me show you a better trick. This is a product called Steam-A-Seam. It comes a 1/2 inch wide, and it's sticky. So pull off a strip of this and literally you're gonna have to cut it in half because you can see this is pretty wide. Literally glue it onto the neck edge. After you've stitched it, glue the other side to the neck edge. Then it's not going anywhere. You don't even need pins to hold it in place, and you're gonna stitch that down and you have a perfect neck edge. So really, really simple to do. So this is what it looks like when it's finished. And you have a beautiful bias neck edge finish. Now I'm going to show you a different way to do it because this is all done with woven fabric. And this is a really simple trick to do. So let me go back to my original top because that's the way this neck edge is finished. So let me put this out like this. This is your front and back sewn together. This is your neck edge. I'm going to now take a strip of knit that I laid over here. Why do we always lay things on top of what we need? Hold on a second. Here it is. This is knit. You can finish off a neck edge and an armhole with knit. That's my favorite way to do it. My all-time favorite way to do it. Because remember, knit doesn't ravel. So I can put this onto the neck edge, again, stretch it as I'm going around the edge, stitch with a 1/2 inch seam all the way around, fold the entire thing to the inside, which is what we've done right here. So let me turn this over and show you. The entire thing has been folded to the inside. And then you're going to stitch a 1/2 inch away from the edge, all right? And press it, and what you're gonna have is a beautiful flat edge. You can do this on the neck edge, as I said, and you can also do this around the armhole, and it makes a beautiful armhole. So it's just a really great way to finish an edge with the knit as opposed to the bias. Totally up to you as to which way you wanna go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now it's time to check out the website. Everything is on there. You can purchase the pattern, the book, all the notions I talked about. You can join the Fit Club and check out the classes where I'm teaching. And be sure to follow me on Facebook.